Welcome back. Today we are going to tackle a big one. It's a challenge that can seriously make or break a growing company. How do you take a whole mess of different products and turn them into one single, powerful strategic plan?
So, how do you get a dozen different products to sing the same song? I mean, think about it. It's like trying to conduct an orchestra. You've got your violins, your cellos, your trumpets, and they're all fantastic on their own. But if you don't have a conductor and shared sheet music, all you get is noise. It's the exact same with products. When every team is just laser focused on their own little roadmap, the company's big picture strategy can just get lost in all that chaos.
And that is where our solution for today comes in. The product portfolio roadmap. Now, this is not just another project plan, okay? This is the master blueprint. A great way to think about it is something like Microsoft 365. Word, Excel, Teams, they aren't just separate apps floating around. Nope. They are designed from the ground up to work together seamlessly. The portfolio roadmap is the tool that makes that kind of strategic harmony a reality.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big why. Then we'll break down all the essential parts you need to include. After that, we'll get our hands dirty with a step-by-step on how you can build one yourself, share some really crucial pro tips, and then, finally, we'll look at some examples of these roadmaps out in the wild. Okay, first things first. What's the big plan here? Why even bother with this? It is so important to get this. A portfolio roadmap is way more than a to-do list. It's really the strategic compass for your entire organization. At its absolute core, the roadmap has one primary job: to be the shared source of truth for everybody. I'm talking about marketing, sales, engineering, leadership. When everyone is looking at the same map, everyone agrees on where you're going and how you're going to get there. It just wipes out confusion and makes sure every single team is pulling in the same direction. And the benefits of getting everyone aligned like this are, well, they're huge. It lets you be so much smarter about where you put your time and money. It helps you break down those super frustrating walls between departments and actually get people collaborating. And at the end of the day, it gives you a clear visual path to hitting your biggest business goals, whether that's boosting revenue or totally dominating a new market. All right, so we get why we need one. Now let's peek under the hood and see what actually goes into one. We're going to dissect the anatomy of a really effective portfolio roadmap and look at all the essential building blocks. It really all starts with the basics. What are your goals? What are the specific products or initiatives you're working on? From there, you've got to have a system for deciding what's most important and a solid plan for your resources, your budget and your people. And then you tie it all together with timelines, ways to measure your success, and of course, a strong visual design so it's easy to understand. Now, what's really cool is we can actually group all those components into two main layers. The first one is what we call the strategy layer. This is your big picture thinking, it's your goals, your metrics, and how you decide what to work on first. This layer answers those critical questions: why are we even doing this, and what do we actually hope to achieve? And right on top of that, you have the second layer, the execution layer. This is where the rubber meets the road, where your big strategy becomes a reality. This layer covers the nitty-gritty: the specific products, the resources, and the timelines for getting everything done. This is all about the how and the when. It's what turns that grand vision into a real, actionable plan. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually go from a completely blank page to a finished blueprint? Let's walk through the practical steps to get it done. You can boil it all down to a pretty simple 4-step process. First, you set the strategy. This means you have to go back to your company's core vision, maybe run a SWOT analysis, and really nail down your goals. Second, you prioritize. Look, not every idea can be a winner, so you have to rank all your initiatives based on their strategic impact and potential payoff. Third, you visualize the whole plan. This is where you pick a format and actually map out your timelines and resources. And finally, and listen, this one is absolutely critical, you have to review and adapt. You have to treat this as a living document that you revisit every single quarter to stay agile. All right, let's do a quick rapid-fire round of pro tips. Seriously, following these simple rules can be the difference between a roadmap that just gathers dust on a shelf and one that actually drives real success for your company. So let's break it down. Do focus on the outcomes, the why, instead of just becoming a feature factory that just churns out stuff without any real purpose. Do keep your timelines flexible, because we all know that rigid, set-in-stone deadlines just don't work in the real world. Do share the roadmap far and wide to get everyone on the same page. A roadmap that's hidden away is a useless roadmap.
And finally, do balance data with your strategy. Customer feedback is obviously vital, but if you let it be the only thing driving your decisions, you can easily lose sight of that bigger picture.
Okay, let's make this even more tangible by looking at how these roadmaps actually look out in the real world. What does a finished one look like in action?
Here we have a classic swim lane format. See how the initiatives are organized into different categories, like self-serve or mobile, and then they're mapped out across a quarterly timeline? This is such a powerful way to see at a single glance what each part of the business is focusing on and when you can expect those key milestones. And what's just brilliant about this format is how it helps you visualize the flow of work. You can so easily see how different product lines are all contributing to the bigger plan over time. This makes it a whole lot easier to spot dependencies between teams and manage your priorities across the entire portfolio. You can prevent bottlenecks before they even happen. But hey, swim lanes aren't your only option. For really high-level, long-term planning, some companies use a different format, like the Go Portfolio Roadmap. The Go actually stands for goals and objectives. So instead of tracking little features, this format tracks those broader business goals over a multi-year horizon. It's perfect for making sure that even your super long-term projects stay perfectly aligned with the company's biggest strategic priorities.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's just lock in those key takeaways. Number one, remember, this is a strategic map, not just a simple project plan. Number two, success really hinges on focusing on the outcomes, the why, not just the what. And most importantly, number three, it absolutely must be a dynamic, living document that helps you navigate change, not fight against it. And that leaves us with one last question to think about for your own work. When you look at all of your products together, are they telling a single, coherent story about where your company is headed? Or are they just making a lot of noise? Thanks for tuning in.